So, this is what I believe to be a decent Pokemon lesson right here. This is me versus a friend of mine, and the concept we're looking at today is if you don't think you can break past a Pokemon, or if you think it can be used later, always switch out. You don't stay in on a Pokemon you know you can't beat with a Pokemon that you think can do better later. Oh shit, the music's on. So we start with Toedsquirrel versus Oricorio. I'll just leave this running. Misses a Hurricane. I go for Spore. That's all right. That's pretty lucky. I switch into Rotom. Rotom's pretty good. I Volt Switch out just for some damage. It does a lot more than I expect. And I go to Honchkrow. I predict that he's spamming an attacking move, so I go for Sucker Punch. And that gives me a Moxie boost. And out comes Ampharos, which is example 1. I use U-turn, and I switch out. I get paralyzed, but that's fine. I switch it to my Clodsire, and Dazzling Gleam does about 20%. And it's Life Orb. So this goes back and forth. Focus Blast does even less than Dazzling Gleam because it's not stab. And I am able to get 3 layers of spikes up while he's damaging his own Pokemon. This is a very bad misplay from Heliolisk. He should not have kept his Ampharos in because I did not use an attacking move and he took most of his health from Life Orb. And now I have a full health Clodsire, goes into Dreadnought. Did switch out before he died. And I am able to take it out with the quad effective Giga Drain because Toedsquirrel is fast. Out comes his Rotom. So I switch in my own Rotom. So he doesn't know that this is supposed to be a trick Choice Scarf Rotom. So he goes for Overheat. And that does a big chunk to my Rotom. But I Volt Switch out because now his special attack is lowered and I can go into Clodsire. Takes nothing. This is another example where, yes, he should have switched out. And he did. So now he's Toxic Poisoned. I did predict a switch out. And Dark Pulse does a lot. I am scared of being flinched down. So I switch out. And I managed to switch out on a Nasty Plot, which I'm scared of. And so I do the Slash Ranbats and I check his moveset. And he does have Flash Cannon. And so I could switch out, but I could also... None of my Pokemon here really have a good Terra type, and I don't want to Terrastallize them very much. Because the Terra type doesn't have a good matchup against his team. So I decide to Terra Fighting into the Flash Cannon. And that's a big move, because this Diancie is important later. And I am able to Moonblast him into Oblivion. Pretty much taking out his strongest Pokemon. And then now he realizes what his Rotom is supposed to do. And so he does use Trick. And this is a pivotal move. I am serious. This is a pivotal move. And it is what let me 6-0 him. I do a Choice Scarf Stealth Rock. So I switch out. Just staying in is a stupid idea. I use Thunderbolt. He uses Thunderbolt into my switching Clodsire. And then he does make the misplay of Volt switching into an immune Clodsire. So now he's Toxic. Which is good because that means he's taking damage. So he switches into Heavy Duty Boots Frostmoth. I hit a Thunder Wave. And I do get a bit of damage on. And now I go for the U-turn, and now I switch back into Diancie, and his entire team is weak to rock. So I'm actually able to outspeed his entire team because of my Choice Scarf. And Frostmoth is double weak, so it goes down. Ampharos, because he did not switch Ampharos out on Clodsire, there's now 3 layers of spikes up and Stealth Rocks. And that does just barely enough that this Ampharos actually dies on switch in. And because his Rotom no longer has the Choice Scarf, and I'm guessing with a little bit of Stealth Rock damage, my Diamond Storm is faster and manages to take him out. So long story short, be careful. Pivoting is important, and if you think that this Pokemon has potential somewhere else, and you don't believe that you can push past this, like, he could not break my Clodsire, and he did not switch out on Clodsire, and that is what led him to losing the match. That was the one that was the biggest thing. He gave me 3 free turns to set up spikes, and that's what lost him the game. So that's another thing to pay attention to when you're playing Pokemon rather than building a team.